Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to the channel Automation Testing 1. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. If you like my video, please like. So let's get started. In the last tutorial, we have seen the inbuilt Selenium commands. Hope you people have done some homework so that it will be easy for you to focus on the upcoming tutorials. So today we are going to see about Xpath, one of the powerful locator which is used in Selenium to identify the element and interact with the elements in the web page. So XPath means XML language, means it has a path-like syntax. That's why the name called as XPath has came. Now before going into XPath, let's understand what is XML. XML means extensible markup language. So initially the web page has been created using mostly on HTML, means hypertext markup language. So HTML is a static, means like the data is not transferred from one page to other page. But XML came to the rescue. It can use to do a data transfer, hold a proper value, and it has a proper structure. In current industry, we have a more advanced than XML. Let's stay onto the topic XML. So now, in a particular web page, we will have a tags, the XML content tag. Now, in order to automate a website, already we have seen different type of locators, ID, name, tags. So when this all fails, means like you are not able to identify a specific element with unique values. So that time XPath comes into help. So in XPath, we have two types of XPath in XPath. So one is absolute XPath, the other one is a relative XPath. Absolute XPath, from the word itself, it's defined, means the absolute path of a web element. And the second one is relative XPath, means you can define your own XPath. You can specify from where your search should start. Starts from the selected node. For in case like in the throughout the tag, you want to start with the input tag. So you can define it in the relative XPath. So usually an absolute XPath is defined using a single slash and the relative XPath is defined using a double slash. So I'll show you people different types of XPath and its functions and inbuilt ancestors, siblings, XPath access. Now let's see. So absolute XPath is the most direct way to find the element, but the disadvantage of absolute XPath is if the element's path changes, then your XPath will fail while running. So as I already told you, this XPath will start with single slash from the root node. And the second one is relative XPath, which we will be mostly using, means it can start with node of your choice. No need to mention the entire XPath is the benefit of this. This also have a disadvantage because since we mention a specific node or path, it will take time than the absolute XPath. And if you have multiple elements on the same path, then it will always choose the first element identified. So I launched Google Chrome. This is one of our demo website, saucedemo.com. So if you right click, if you want to go to developers tools, either you can click on F12 or else right click, click on inspect. So directly it will go to the particular element. So in this case, so we'll see absolute text path of the particular username text path. So right click, copy full text path, control F and paste it. So if you see one of one, so for this text path you found one unique value. So this XPath directly you can use it in your application. So this is the absolute XPath of username text box. If you see here, you can see it starts from the root HTML, then body, then div. So it will contain all the parent nodes, and finally it will reach the input. This is the tag. So in this case, if any one of the tag has been removed from the development side, then this XPath will fail. So mostly we will be using the relative XPath, because relative XPath we will be telling the XPath that this is the name of the username, or you will have a particular property to identify an element. Okay, let's see relative XPath for the same. So if you see the relative XPath syntax, it starts with double slash, and the second one is HTML tag, and the third one is attribute name, and the fourth one is attribute value. So in this case, for username, if you want to write, first is double slash, then is the HTML tag input. So if you see here, now we have three input tags available. Now the third one is I'm going to use ID, so it will be ID equal to, just copy it from this ID value. It's a single code, so that's it. So this is the relative XPath using ID for username field. So people understood this syntax. So if you see, this is the attribute name is ID, HTML tag is input, and the attribute value is user name. And the second thing, you can also specify multiple attributes in case, if you see in this website, one of one means it is unique, but it won't be always the case. Like one element, for example, if you have one more tag with username, then your XPath will pick the first elements, as we discussed. That is the advantage of related XPath. If multiple elements on the same path, it will choose the first element identified. So in that time, you can club with other attribute on the same path. So in this case, I'm putting username. So you can use a combination of tags. So this is called as multiple attributes you can use. So hope you understood this too. The third one, what I am going to show you is and or attributes. Means in XPath you can use and or attributes. So this is the sample website which I use. So how you go to developer tools, click on F12. So if you see here, this example which I have chosen, functional testing. So let's go here and inspect it. If you see here, I used both the attributes, class attributes and value attributes, because in case I will just take this and part out from this. If you see here, we have three attributes with class name as checkbox multiple. So if I want to select automation testing, if I use this tag, it's going to select the functional testing. If you add this and if you specify, for example, you want to select automation, you go here, net, And the tag which I used is value. That's it. Now if you see, it highlights the automation testing checkbox. So this is an example for and. I'll show an example for or attribute. So now in this example, I used a function, Xpath function, which is called as text of this one. What exactly it will do? It will go to the input tag. So here is my input tag. What is the test inside this function testing? This is the text inside this label. So it will exactly match or check for this text. I will show you like how you can check partial text in the next examples. So now this text function will exactly check for this functional testing or at the value equal to functional testing. So you can see like this has identified exactly the functional testing checkbox will be selected if I use this XPath. Hope as up to now I have explained absolute and the relative XPath. We have seen basic XPath and now we have seen how to use text function and we have also seen the multiple attributes. Now I am going to show you guys the contains function in the XPath. So as the syntax shows, it's like first it should be double slash, then the HTML tag. One more thing I want to tell you guys, if you don't want to pass the HTML tag, you can simply put start like this. And next is contains is a function, XPath function, and which attribute you are going to search and what is the value you are expecting there. Okay. So now in this same example, I'll show you. So input contains this value having functional. So now I'll show you people if I put just testing. So if you see here how many testing attributes are there, three are there. All the three is having a value as testing. So it's a partial text. If you see here, all three has been selected. So it is the advantage of using a contains text. In this case, I will just put automation. If you see here, so that's how it works. So you have seen now like contains at the value of attribute name and attribute value should work. I'll show you one more example for contains. I'll show you one more example for contains. So if you see here, I'm trying to find, I'm clubbing both contains and the text function of XPath. So this XPath will search for text manual testing contains. Inside this, you will have to pass the text function and which text you are looking for. So in this one, like if you see like manual testing is the text which I'm looking for and star I gave because I want to check for all the HTML tags. If you know the tag, just type it here. So it works. It will be fast also. Like how much more parameters you pass, that much your XPath will be faster. So there are a lot of advantages of XPath, and we will be seeing the other function as well. So the next function which we are going to see is starts with. In case you have an elements, I'll show you. You have one, two, three. So you have three. Every time when you launch, the login ID will change like this. So in this case, this XPath function will be really helpful. So you can just put starts with ID of user. Okay. Let's see an example for the same. So here I have taken the demo website source demo. So this is the website, and if you see here, try to find all the text which starts with source labs. So if you see here, this is first lab by Clyde, bold, fleece jacket. So total we have 4 elements which starts with source lab. So starts with function you can club also with ID or name. Example like let me try to do something like this. So if you see here, we have 42 elements. So it's not a good example. You can use ID if you have. So in the example which I have taken, it's a class name. So there are a lot of tags which has a class name as inventory item, which starts with inventory item. Okay. So next, what I'm going to explain you guys is preceding. Preceding. From the word itself, it says the preceding tag of the given specified node tag or relative tag. So for example, I want you people to do workout, take your website, take any website and inspect the elements. You can take a slider, calendar, try to inspect and write in Xpath. Then you can understand how powerful this tool, this Xpath is. Sorry. Okay. So what exactly preceding does? So if you see here, I'll just remove this preceding. Sorry. So there are two classes which has a div classes form group. So this first one and this is the second one. So preceding, it will go for the first form group and the precede. It will go for the preceding one. See for example, this is the form group. So this is the one and preceding input tag is username colon input. The tag which you specify, it goes to the particular tag. So in this case, it goes to the username. The form group tag is this one, this guy. In this case, preceding one is username input tag, and the other one is vice versa, following. Following means after this tag, what is available. So after this fun group, what is the following input tag? Password. So this is the following tag, immediate following. If you see here, I clearly mentioned the single slash means like immediately after the div at class of form group. So this is one of the examples for following. So if you see here, we are seeing two nodes, means like after this form group, we have two input nodes. One is this one, other one is this one. So it will show all the input nodes. So based on your need, you should restrict or example. In this case, uh, let me take this guy. So ID password. So I want this. Sorry. So now you see only one. So whatever the information you have, based on that also, you can write an XPath. So the third one is following sibling. So now if you see the previous tag, what happened is it has shown you two tags. Now following sibling will give you exact sibling of the form group. The immediate following sibling of the form group. So this is the immediate following sibling of the form group div class. Okay, let's see the next tag. Ancestor. What is ancestor? It's similar to our real life scenario. Ancestors means our father, forefather, grandfather, and like whoever up to root it goes. If you see this tag, form group, so this is the guy. So from here, if you traverse through, you can see who are our parents. Login block, this is one of the parent, and that is the grandparent. So ancestor will take you down up to the root. If you want to, as already told you, like if you want to stop in some particular place, if we define it, so it stops there. Still run. It's straightforward. Like it's similar to following, means like form group, and this in this example I showed you one more thing like index. This is the index parameter which you can pass. So remove it if you sorry. Just I removed the tag as well. Now if you see there are two tags, means like there are two form groups, but this index will come into play. So index of one will point to the first form group. If I do, it will point to the second form group. And in this, it will come to the child. This form group child input tag is password. Okay, let's try for one. So now form group one's child's tag is input tag is username. So that's all about XPath. We have a lot of other functions as well. So I want you guys to do a practice on all this. So whatever XPath we found and we tried, you can open Eclipse and you can try navigating through this. You can configure this XPaths wherever you want. Like this example I have is login button. Similarly, this all this XPath whatever you're creating, you try to incorporate in your function. So next tutorials like I'll show you the difference between WebDriver Manager, Selenium Manager, and like we will be seeing WebDriver Manager. Why is the need for WebDriver Manager and Selenium Manager, and in both of the fields how to configure to automate the Chrome browser. Stay tuned. Thank you. Subscribe.